Hey everyone, it's Lisa and you're watching Out of the Box. So it's been a while. I'm sorry, I didn't have any motivation nor time to film anything. However, I actually also didn't really have a lot of stuff to talk about. I've been wanting, as I said in last video, I've been wanting to get a little bit more into like reviews and stuff like that, but I haven't really thought of how I'm going to do that yet, and I didn't have time to work out how I wanted to do that yet. So right now we're just back with another haul. It's a big one. It's quite a bit bigger than my last manga box that I received from Arconia, and honestly this title that I will choose sounds a lot like clickbait, but it's not. When I had to pay for this order, I actually had to pay over 300 euros, and that's quite a bit. However, I worked a lot the last few months, so I also had quite a bit more salary, so I can afford it right now, but I don't think this is going to happen that often. Right now my order for next month is around 150, which is way more manageable and also a little bit nice because I am going to have to pay for customs for a few Ami packages that are coming in, as well as having to pay for my quarter scale B-style Deku, which is coming. So that's going to be fun. But right now let's just focus on this haul and see what I got this time. Honestly, this time it's going to be a little bit different because the past few times I did like new manga I started collecting this month and old manga that I already started collecting. However, this time it's actually not just a haul, it's an unboxing. So I'm just going to grab manga out of the box as it's in there, the way it's in there, so I can't really choose between whether it's an old or a new manga. However, I think that that's fine for this time. So let's get into that. I'm not going to do my ramen intro again. This time I got myself some water. I really liked the way it was, like the humor of it was really fun, and it was fun to have like a little blooper before the start of my video. However, my carpet still smells a little bit like ramen. So I guess we'll just have to do that another time. But let's get into it. Okay, so I almost forgot, but I have two things I want to show you guys before I start this haul. The first is, they're a little dirty, but I just want to, like, the thing I want to show is how well they are holding up. And that is these ones, the limited edition 25th anniversary All-Stars, Converse All-Stars Pokemon edition. And I've had these ones for 9 months already. And I just want to say that I am very hyped how well, like how white they still are. Even though I haven't washed them once. I know that you can wash shoes like this in the washing machine on like a gentle cycle. However, I have not done that ever yet. And honestly, they still look amazing. So if you have any place where you can still get these, I would totally do it because they are super awesome. And they are just like, there's red on the inside. It's really cool. They are so cute. And the other thing I wanted to show you is that along with my manga box that came in after I came back from the wedding I went to, there was also something else, and I was really hyped for it. And there was a little bit of drama about it because I received an email when I was on that wedding, like not during the ceremony or anything, but when I was at that wedding, there was this email and it said, okay, we tried to deliver your parcel. However, the addressee is not known on this address. They might have moved or they are unknown. And we have sent it back to bol.com, which is where I pre-ordered this. And so it was this one. It was the Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes limited edition. And I was so scared because I was like, oh my god, no. They send it back. And I just paid for it because I was like, I chose the option where you pay after they ship it. So I just paid for it and I was like, they're gonna send it back and they're gonna sell it to someone else and I'm going to lose it. And I was so scared. But then I asked like someone on my hallway if they knew what happened, because why would they just assume that the addressee was unknown and not just send it to the service point for me to collect it when I'm home. And they said, no, it was delivered. There's a bol.com package for you here. I found the delivery guy on the way here. So there was nothing, it was all okay, but I was a little bit scared. And I just wanted to show you what's inside the limited edition. So we have these two, which are like acrylic stands of Shez, which is the main character. I think it's Shez, but honestly, with names like these, you never know. And then what I was really hyped about are these acrylic stands of the 3 house leaders. So Claude, Dimitri, and Edelgard, who I also really like referring to as Edel Waifu. Oh god, I'm really showing my inner weep. Okay, but you have these, and there is also this art book, which I find really funny because it's soft cover, even though the 3 houses one was hardcover. But I guess that's fine. And it just has all these beautiful art pieces. I do like it, even though it's soft cover, I do like it a little bit more than the 3 houses book, because the 3 houses book was a little bit more, like there was less detail on the outfits. And what more do we have? The rest of the things I put back in the box. There is, I'm not doing this properly. There is this really cool, which I am going to hang up, but I need to find a place for it. There's this really cool cloth map of Fodlan. So that's really cool. I really like that. And last but not least, here was where they put the game itself. However, they have this postcard set with all the characters, like Shez male, Shez female, and Arval, which I'm still really interested in what their deal is. And then just everyone in their 3 Hopes outfits, which are a little different from the time skip outfits that they had in 3 houses. So that's really cool that they have these new outfits. And it's really cool. And they also have the Ashen Wolves. However, I haven't played the 3 houses DLC yet, because I was first trying to complete the main story, and I'm almost done in preparation for 3 Hopes. I'm almost done with the Verdant Wind route, and then I've finished all main 4 routes of the game, and that puts me at around 175, 180 hours of gameplay. So to anyone who says there's not enough content in 3 houses, I do not agree. Anyway, those were the things I wanted to show. Let's get into the manga. Whoa, that's a different angle. But here we have the box. I once again forgot to erase my address. However, we'll just work with it and I'll just blur it when it's needed. But I have to find my knife. I had it here, but I have this super cute knife. My significant other actually referred to it as like a yandere knife because they thought that it looked a little bit yandere with it being so cute but it being a knife. So that's really fun. But let's open this box. I hope I can do this with one hand. Like that. Like that. And there we go. It's this big box. And look at that. There is so much stuff in here. Oh, this is really hard with one hand, actually. Oh, they wrapped some of it up and some of it is in here. So let's get into that, shall we? So let's get into what manga is inside of here. And the first thing I am picking up is Lovesick Ellie, and it is volume 4. So I started this series because Mangagram told me about it. And I thought that it sounded funny. It's like about this pervy girl who has these really pervy kind of fantasies, and she shares them on Twitter under the name Lovesick Ellie. And she starts to find out what the boy that she writes all those fantasies about, who is like this boy that every girl likes at her school. But she starts to find out that he's not really as perfect as he seems, and she decides to try to get to know him better. And he finds out about her secret, like the Lovesick Ellie, and he kind of finds it funny. And then it's just a really cute rom-com about this girl who has no experience with love whatsoever, and this guy who's also not really that experienced, but everybody just kind of assumes he is experienced because he is so popular. And it's just really funny. I really can't wait to see what's happening this time. I think that by now they have kissed already. I kind of forgot what happened in volume 3. However, I'm probably going to reread a little bit of volume 3 and then continue with this one, and I'm really hyped about it. Let's quickly continue. The next one I'm getting from here is Chainsaw Man volume 9, and I see a few more of the Chainsaw Man volumes, so I kind of hope they put them all together. Yes, they seem to have done that. I only miss volume 6. If they only put volume 6 in like... I did order volume 6, right? But if they only put volume 6 in like this other bag, I'm going to riot a little bit. Yeah, I did get Chainsaw Man volume 6 in this order. However, it seems that it is in the other package. So we'll just go with the flow. I think Chainsaw Man doesn't really need an introduction. I've heard that with volume 11, part 1 of Chainsaw Man actually comes to an end, which means that the first story, which I presume is like the Gun Devil kind of plot line, comes to an end. But I've heard that starting around October or something, there's going to be a part 2. So I kind of have the feeling that it's just like JoJo, where parts are like arcs. But I don't know for sure. However, I was just so hyped about getting the rest of these, that I got everything that was in stock, which is luckily everything, and volume 11 was a pre-order, so I was like, yeah, I can get volume 11 and then slowly get like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. However, I just decided to get all of them in all at once. And it was a little bit expensive, but it was worth it, I hope. I have heard a lot of great things about it, so I'm gonna see it. So I just want to say that my audio recording software is doing a little bit weird. It's like this really very what's it called, like simple software from just Windows. It was on my laptop to begin with, but I was like, meh, as long as my editing software is like good, I can have a simple recording software. However, it's yeah, it has already thrown away 2 of my audio recordings, so I had to do those again, or I can kind of save them, but then I have to do weird things to be able to import them into my editing software, because they are saved as another data type, like not MP3 but M4A or something. I don't really get what is happening, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit upset with my laptop. But let's just, I can't be too upset when I've got so much manga to go through, but I just wanted to tell you guys so that if I have to re-record something and it sounds a little bit like I have less energy because I already said everything before, then you guys can understand it. I'm sorry. I kind of shuffled to get all those Chainsaw Man manga, so what was the first one at first, like what was on top at first, is not on top anymore, but whatever. I still don't really know everything that I got. Right now we have another 7 Seas manga, which somebody had this really shit take a few weeks ago, where they said show like 2 good titles from 7 Seas, and I was like, okay, Orange and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas are already 2 good titles, and Even Though We're Adults is a good title, but don't add me when you have such takes. But I really only got this because it has this adorable, it has a really weird name, like one of those long names as well, but it has adorable art. And it's called The Weakest Tamer Began a Journey to Pick Up Trash. And it's about Ivy, and she finds out that she's starless, and without stars she can't even use her tamer skill to subdue even the smallest of animals. But in the forest she befriends a lowly slime named Sora, which she can actually tame, and together they begin salvaging other people's rubbish in an attempt to turn their lives around. So that's really cute, and I can't wait. I think that it's really cute that she finds someone who she can be friends with, and that she helps them. And I'm often not that into isekai, however, this just sounded too cute, so I had to pick it up. Continuing with what I guess, yes, it's another 7 Seas title. We have volume 2 of I Can't Believe I Slept With You, which is just this really cute Yuri rom-com of this woman who gives favors to this woman who is her landlord, and she does like these favors she does in place of her overdue rent. However, what they say here, as time passes, the distance between the 2 women has dwindled. Just when things are getting interesting, an older beauty moves into the apartment complex where they both live. What will happen now? So it's really fun. The first volume, it was just a little bit about those favors, and they could be sexual favors, but they also could be just them having quality time and stuff, like them doing things that normal couples would do together. And like the main character, Chio, still says something like, yeah, that she still says that she's heterosexual and that she only does these things to pay for her rent. However, honestly, it doesn't seem that way. And I know that that's what they always do in these kind of yuri manga, like, oh, they find out they're gay anyway, or bi, or whatever. But I think it's really cutely done, and they don't make fun of it, so it's really nice. I can't wait to read the second volume of this because it looks really fun. Continuing with the LGBT manga, we have this one by Tokyo Pop, which is Puppy Love. And honestly, I don't really fully know what the synopsis of this is, so I'm just going to read it. An abandoned puppy saved from the cold by a kind boy. An exhausted salaryman who finds unexpected respite in the warm smile of a pet store clerk. How do these two stories entwine? Worked to the bone by his exploitative company, Inukai. Oh my god, dog. Oh. Inukai is at the end of his rope when he happens to pass by a pet shop and befriends Hoshi, a welcome staff member. Inspired by the adorable puppies and Hoshi's support, Inukai is determined to change jobs and work toward a life where he can have his own dog. But change is hard, and Inukai's dreams are nearly at a standstill when Hoshi approaches him and declares that he'll help because I'm the dog you saved all those years ago. Okay, I kind of forgot that this was a thing. I kind of forgot that the plot was that he was the dog. So that's interesting, but honestly the art is just really cute and the title was really cute. And I must say, when I first read the synopsis, I did think that it sounded like a little bit of a generic yaoi manga where with a little bit of supernatural elements added in, but I think it's pretty cute. And honestly, I've recently just really been into a yaoi kick and yuri, yaoi and yuri both. I just enjoy reading manga that's not just about high school kids, but more adult and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And for the next manga that I got this month is the Naoko Takeuchi collection version of Sailor Moon. I used to collect the normal Kodansha version of Sailor Moon, and I have the first 3 volumes of that. However, those are pretty hard to get by, and these are new. This was a pre-order, and honestly, I just feel more comfortable knowing that I can get everything that's available. So I pre-ordered everything that they have right now that was on the website. And the only thing that saddens me is that they don't have like these first pages in color, which they did do in the Kodansha version of this manga. However, every book contains one more chapter than, or I think it does. I know that the first one contained one more chapter than the volume 1 of the Kodansha version. And honestly, I'm really hyped. I really want to read more of Sailor Moon. I really like magical girl manga and anime, and this is such a classic. You need to read it if you're a magical girl fan, right? Right? So I can't wait to get more of these and go through all of them, and I'll let you know what I think. Maybe that would be one of the first review videos, although I would be a little bit afraid to review Sailor Moon, as I think the fans can get pretty hyped and pretty angry if you say something bad about it. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get to the next manga. Quickly continuing, we have another manga that I was very excited for, which is Cheeky Brat Volume 3. And I found this manga, I think, through Mangagram as well. And it's just really cute. I must say though, I have heard that one of my Mangagram mutuals has read past the first few volumes, like past what's available in English. As in they have read scanlations, I guess. And they said that there was this kind of trope that they didn't really like that started to show up in the later volumes. So I'm a little bit afraid. However, I know most shoujo tropes, and there are not that many that I actually really dislike. Most of them I'm kind of about, so I think it will be fine. I think that the good will outweigh the bad. However, yeah, I can't wait to read this third volume because I've been waiting so long to read the rest, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really wondering if you guys can hear it, but outside I think there's like a car alarm going off. I'm not sure. Anyway, another manga that I'm very excited for, even though I can't read it yet, is this one. Mieruko-chan number 5. I am the happy owner of volume 1, 3, 4 and now 5. However, I haven't been able to get volume 2 yet. It's probably available somewhere right now. It was out of stock for a while. However, it's probably back in stock now. But when it was out of stock, I placed an order at Right Stuff, the American website, and I did that because they said that they would receive more stock of Dengeki Daisy Volume 10. However, they haven't been able to get that as of yet, so my whole order is still waiting to be shipped until, and it won't be shipped until they get that volume. So it might take another few months, maybe a year, before that gets to me. And I really want to read this in print. However, I think I'm going to just go ahead and read a few of the chapters online so that I can continue with the rest, because it's going to take such a long time before I get volume 2 that it's not fun anymore to wait. But it's a really fun manga so far, and I can't wait to see what's next. So it's not really a secret that I really like Madoka, that it's my favorite anime of all time, and that I want to collect as much Madoka stuff as possible. You can even see my Madoka cosplay here in the corner. So it's true, I'm a fangirl. And what I see now is that the next manga that I've got is volume 4 of Magia Record, the Puella Magi Madoka Magica side story. And honestly, I'm really excited for this one. I say that about every manga, but I mean, would I buy them if I weren't excited for them? Really? But I really like that Kyoko is on the front. I must say I haven't played the Magia Record game, so I don't really know what roles the original 5, like the Holy Quintet, has in the story yet. I also have yet to read volume 3. I wanted to have a little bit more to read, like a little bit more to get through before I started reading 3, so that I could read 3 and 4 just at the same time. And yeah, I really hope that it's gonna be good. I think that so far it has been good, and I've heard good things about the anime version of Magia Record. So I'm hopeful, and I can't wait to read more about my favorite magical girls. Okay, a small change of angle because the light was hitting weird again, and this time I actually know how to fix that, so I'm really happy because last time it wasn't pretty. Anyway, the next manga is a little bit of a, you either love it or hate it. There's not that much in between in the anime and manga community, and there's only one manga I can be talking about, and that's Sword Art Online. In this case, Sword Art Online Progressive, which is the manga features Asuna as main character in the original SAO game, and it shows the stories of the first few floors and how she became such a high-ranking person in the Knights of the Blood Oath and everything like that. It just shows the beginning of Asuna's adventure in Sword Art Online, where the original Sword Art Online doesn't really do that. So I'm sorry to say, but I really like Sword Art Online. I know it has a lot of flaws, but I still like it. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what this manga is going to be about. This is volume 6. I have read up until volume 4 recently. I once started but never continued, but now I'm slowly continuing the manga. And I gotta say, I really enjoy it. I do want to read the Progressive Night novel as well. However, I don't really like reading novels, so it might take a while before I do that. But for now, I have this one, and I'm I'm saying it again, I'm really excited to see what it's about and what shenanigans Asuna gets in this death game. The next manga is one that I have also found through Mangagram, and it is another yaoi, or at least boys love manga as far as I know. A romance that will cleanse your heart, and it is Seaside Strangers. I must say, I have no clue what this is about. The only thing I know is that a lot of my Instagram mutuals really like it, and I decided to get it. I have to say, the fact that it says 17 plus and that it is wrapped in plastic gives me the idea that there might be some explicit scenes in there. However, we will see. I have no clue. But 7Cs always does this with their like boys love and girls love like explicit manga. So I don't really know for sure, but I do think that the art is really cute of the cover, and I will look into the rest of it. The back says, ever since his parents disowned him for being gay, okay, so it is a boys love, Shun has been living with his aunt on a small island near Okinawa. One day he meets Mio, a high school student who recently lost his own parents and now spends his days sitting by the sea. The two young men begin to open up to each other until Mio reveals that he's leaving. 3 years later, an adult Mio returns to the island to confess his true feelings. But is Shun ready for a relationship? I gotta say, that sounds really cute, and this is honestly the first time I read the synopsis. I had no clue that this is what it was about. But I am really excited to see what this one is. I know that there are around 4 volumes right now, so I'll see if it's worth getting the rest. Okay, so this next one I have been waiting for. This next one, Ima Koi. Now I'm in love. I've seen this everywhere on my manga Instagram. I think I follow so many female manga-grammars, but I have the feeling that there are way more female manga-grammars than male manga-grammars. So I get a lot of shoujo recommendations and boys love recommendations. However, this Ima Koi I found myself through the new pre-orders list they have on Arconia. And I had the first volume, and this was my pre-order of the second volume. And it was so cute because it was just like this girl, she just wants to love. She just wants to be in a relationship, and she is so sad that she was too shy to confess her feelings. So this time, this crush, she just decides, I'm going for it. And suddenly, they're dating. Suddenly they're dating. And it's just this really cute manga about how she deals with her first relationship. And this guy is so handsome and he's so cute and they're adorable. And oh my god, I can't wait to read this one. So we are at the final manga that is not wrapped in this package. So we are getting there. We're getting there. I love the first volume of this one, so I know I'm gonna love this one as well. But it's Thigh High Reiwa Hanamaru Academy, and the only way I can explain this manga is men, high school boys, with very girly problems. They wear skirts, they wear bras, they care about their beauty, they care about if they get fat, they care about if their skirt length is right. It's just adorable. I think it's a really quirky way of showing that some girl problems are just a little bit silly. And yeah, it's just really adorable. Once again, I don't know why that person said that Seven Seas doesn't have good series, because it does have good series. This one's also by Seven Seas. I just don't get it. If you feel this way, if you have the feeling that Seven Seas doesn't have good series, please tell me. Please tell me why you think so, because honestly, I mean, yeah, it's not Attack on Titan, but it's so good. Please, just give it a chance. Okay, I just looked at the new pile once again, and honestly, there's only one thing, or I guess two things, because it's two volumes of the same series, that is really trash in there, so let's just get the trash out of the way. I have got volume 2 and 3 of Citrus, our favorite stepsister Yuri manga. I don't want to like this. I really don't want to like this as much as I do. But it's just so funny. Like this really gyaru girl becoming stepsisters with like this really uptight girl, and then suddenly the uptight girl just starts kissing her sister, and it's like, what the hell's happening? And yeah, they may be stepsisters, but that's about all the two girls have in common. And yeah, it's trash, but it's really good trash. If you like Yuri and you like comedy, then please give this one a try, because it's honestly it's pretty much worth it. And the only thing is, make sure you don't have to explain your parents why you like this manga. I just have my whole LGBT and whole, like, everything that's a little bit explicit on this one shelf, and I keep like a few plants in front of the manga so they don't look at that shelf, because honestly, I'm afraid what they'd say if they knew. But they give this one a try. It's really fun. Well, that's even more of an angle change, but the light was hitting badly again. So I'll keep doing this as much as possible, as much as needed. But the next manga that was wrapped in the bubble plastic is another of the big ones. It's like they wrapped all the large spined volumes in one, in that one bubble wrap package. And this one I'm really looking forward to as well. It's The Way of the Househusband Volume 2 by Kosuke Ono. And I really liked the first Way of the Househusband because it's just short little gags that don't really hang together that much. There isn't really, as far as I know right now, there isn't really an overcoupling storyline. However, well, apart from the main thing that this guy was originally Yakuza and now lives with his working wife, and the wife and he himself have to deal with him still doing a little bit of his Yakuza things and calling like flour the good white stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one because the gags were just really funny, and I'm glad that this one was in stock because actually it seems to be out of stock a lot of the time, this series. So I'm glad that I was able to get it, and I will probably get Volume 3 with my next haul or the one after that. So I'll get it sooner rather than later. We only have 3 more series to go, I guess. Not volumes, that's 5, but 3 more series. And the first one that we have is something that I'm really glad that it was finally in stock, which is Blue Period Volume 3. I don't think you can see it. Maybe if I change my camera angle slightly up here, you can see my Blue Period manga. And with my Blue Period manga, the problem was that Volume 2 and 3 were always out of stock. I have Volume 1 through 6, apart from Volume 3 I had before now. I have watched the anime, so I know what's going to happen, but I just wanted to read the manga in order, and I didn't want to skip a volume even though I knew what happened in that volume, because I always know that there can be differences between what the anime says and what the manga says. And I just really wanted to read this volume as well. I must say I really like the covers of these, especially like the shiny paint bits that they do on every cover. And yeah, I can't wait to read it and experience this part of the story again. And I don't know when season 2 of the anime will be out. However, I do think that the manga, like the releases in English so far, are almost up to where season 1 ended, and I already got like a few volumes in the future that I have pre-ordered. So I think that I will be getting a lot of new content soon. But let's first read the parts that I already know, because honestly this is such a good series. It's worth it to experience it in both anime and manga form. Then we're almost done, but this is one of the ones that I think is really good and really deserves to be spoken about last, because almost last, because it's just so freaking good. And that is Volume 3 and 4 of Boys Run the Riot. For those of you who do not know, a very quick synopsis of this series is that it's about this boy, Ryo. He's a transgender boy in Japan, which is a place that doesn't really understand that stuff very much yet. And he's a transgender boy who finds solace in clothing and streetwear, and he finds a new classmate that he pairs up with and starts a fashion brand with. And Volume 2 really ended on a cliffhanger So I think this is the first manga I'm going to read this evening after playing some Fire Emblem Warriors. But I'm really going to read this. I also think it's really cool that Keito Gaku, that's right? Yeah, Keito Gaku, which is the writer, the mangaka of this manga, is a transgender man himself, and I think that's really cool. And these covers are also really cool. They also have the shiny thing going on, and I just really like it. It's also kodansha, just like Blue Period, so I guess that's why the shiny thing is going on. They really seem to like that at kodansha. But I mean, I already said that I liked it, so. But honestly, if you have any interest in LGBT issues, LGBTQIA+ issues, or reading about their life, understanding it a bit more, then I think that Boys Run the Riot is an amazing series to read. It's only 4 volumes long, so it doesn't break the bank to get the series. So please give it a try. It's really amazing. Then we're already at the final manga, and honestly, this one is one that I'm a bit afraid to talk about because it is it's quite a heavy topic. It's about quite a heavy topic, and I think that this manga, I don't know, I haven't heard a lot about it, but I have heard that it's a bit of a classic, but I can imagine it might be a little bit controversial because the topic of this manga lies in the Second World War, and well, as somebody from a country that has very much lived through World War II, being next to Germany and everything, it's quite a harsh topic. But I really wanted to read this because it's about the bombing of Hiroshima, and it's kind of autobiographical because it's about the writer's own experience with the bombing of Hiroshima and the aftermath. And I just think that if we want to make sure that things like World War II don't happen again, then it's best to try and understand every side, every person involved a little bit better, every way of looking at the situation a little bit better, to just get over the, how do I say that? About assumptions that we make. And I sadly only got the first 2 volumes. They're a beautiful hardcover edition of this manga, Barefoot Gen. And they are thick. The first one is wrapped in plastic, the second one is not. I find that a little bit weird. It's here it says that it is a 10-part series, and as far as I know, all 10 parts came out in a span of 2 months, like for this version. So I wasn't able to get all the volumes all at once because, as you can imagine, hardcover volumes are pretty expensive. So getting 10 hardcover volumes along with all the other manga that I got this month and that I pre-ordered, it's a bit much. So I decided to get the first 2 so I could get a good feeling of the story, and I would be able to understand it a little bit more, understand what it was about, and understand if I like the style of storytelling. But I do think that if I like it in any way, I will be getting the other 8 volumes of this series, because I do think, well, as I said, I do think it's important to see in a way what other countries and their citizens experienced during the horrific time that was World War II. And yeah, I don't know if that's controversial or not, to be willing to listen to like the Japanese side of the story, and especially a citizen's side of the story. But I do think that it's really important to read things like this and get to understand a little bit more what happened and why it happened and what it did to everyone, what it did to those we perceive to be the bad guys. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, because I don't want this to become too political or too controversial. I'm a little bit afraid it might have already become that. Please, if I said anything that offends you or that you want to talk about, please send me a message. I'm always willing to talk. But I thought it was important to really show why I wanted to own this manga, why I thought it is important that people own this, and why I think it's important that people read things like this. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, I think, because otherwise this might become a little bit too loaded for a simple manga unboxing. And with that, we have come to the end of this probably way too long video. I want to show you the complete pile. It's a pretty good pile, I must say so myself. I hope that reached the ending, because at the end I couldn't see what it was filming anymore. I'm filming this on my phone, guys. I mean, I do have a microphone, if you have seen it, but I haven't invested or wanted to invest into a camera yet, because I just feel like for now my phone is doing the job. I think the quality is pretty okay, but let me know if you think it's not. I'm always willing to listen. However, with that, we are coming to an end. I'm really glad that you clicked on this video, if you did. I'm also really glad that you made it this far, if you've made it this far. If you feel like it and you want to see me ramble about my love for manga, figurines, and everything else, then you can subscribe, or you can leave a comment or just a like to let me know that you enjoyed it. It really means a lot to me. And with that, I will be saying bye.